Hello, everybody. This is TY of Stone Muscle checking in. Um, this is going to be part two of juvenile delinquent and the effects that it has on your family. As I told you in part one, my story, the beginning, when I was 14 years old, how I started going to juvenile detention centers. Now that I remember, I think it's probably from like stealing a bike or something like that. Like I said, I never really did anything that was crazy, just crazy enough to, for my area, with Montgomery County, the same county that prosecuted Bill Cosby. Sorry about saying so many times. Miss D, um, here I goes the again. Miss D, she told me earlier today to not to quit saying all the time. And I have a good friend, Carol, very good friend of mine, Carol, who's a Drexel graduate and was and is a very important person in my life right now. We don't date or anything like that. We just have wine and talk and just cover a lot of topics. And she gave me some advice on how to stop saying the word because like I said, I'm not going to be doing any editing. Whatever comes out my mouth is it's just the way it's going to come out. I'm not going to stop it and record it and rework it and what have you. I'm just going to go off the top of my head. I don't have anything written down. I'm not going to write anything down because I want it to come from the heart. And whatever comes to mind about my situation or the topics I'm talking about, it's just going to have to be like that. Like I said, I'll deal with the consequences later. Being a juvenile, delinquent, being a bad kid, not caring what anybody thinks or says to you, your parents telling you not to do a certain thing and then you go around and do it anyway. It's being selfish. You're being selfish, but I don't want to say that to the kids that might be watching out there right now, because when you say certain words to them about certain things, it tends to turn them off right away. And I want the kids and the mothers and fathers who might be thinking about letting their kids watch this, I don't want them to get discouraged from the topic at hand. Now, the pain that my mother went through and my sister, who are beautiful souls. My mother, Maxine, is the best person I know. She's the most beautifulest person I know. She's got a beautiful heart, beautiful soul, and she transferred that down to my sister. And my sister is now the same way. Approachable. They'll talk to you. They'll give you a smile, say hi to you as if they've known you for years. They'll make you feel comfortable about approaching them and just saying whatever it is that's on your mind. I don't have a picture of my mom right now. Actually, I do, but I don't know how to put them on screen and let people see my mother and my sister. I probably won't put my sister on there because she's kind of private. But if she gives me the permission to put her picture up there, I will. But my mother is and she had to go probably through so much pain when me being a juvenile delinquent, a family member or a friend asking how's Tyrone doing or how's the kids doing, and the kids are fine. Oh, is Tyrone in school? Mike in school? Shay in school? Well, Tyrone's not in school. Tyrone's away in a juvenile detention center for being bad. Now, just think of what I said about my mom as far as her being a very approachable person, a very sweet person, always having a smile on her face no matter what the situation. Her having to explain that, her having to explain that to a friend or a family member, and people are judgmental. People are judgmental. They're just going to judge from what you told them at that time about your son being away in juvenile detention center, because they can come up with all kinds of thoughts of what I have probably done to put myself in there. But like I said, I'm from Montgomery County, and I can't blame Montgomery County, and I'm not going to blame the court systems or anything like that, because there's plenty of people that grew up in Montgomery County in my area that never did the things that I did, as far as lighting firecrackers, throwing them in people's yards, putting them at people's front doorsteps, stuff like that. It's just, just I mean, you, when you come to think about it, what would make you do something like that? What would make you violate somebody's property and their peace for doing something like that? And like I said, it's your family members that are going to hurt the most from it. They're going to hurt the most because you're away and they're used to you being in the house with your siblings. And when they're at the dinner table and you're not there, you're away, doing time for something that you shouldn't have done. So to all the kids out there, and to who might be listening to this, who parents might let them listen to this, just remember that not only are you being, I'm going to say the word again, selfish in what you're doing, but just remember the pain that your family members have to go through in order to explain what it is or why it is that you're gone. Um, Sorry, Miss D, I'm going to work on that thing. I think I'm getting better at it. I'm going to make sure that I get better at it. I'm going to take your advice, Carol. I'm going to take your advice also. There I go again. When I have my family members are far out, Jersey, California, Texas, all over the place. But the people that are here in your vicinity, in your area, let's worry about them the most. To my sister, Kiana, out in Jersey, with her two beautiful sons, Donovan and Dylan, I want to explain to my sister that when you know, as a man, that you're not doing right, it's going to be hard to go in front of your family members, like my sister, Kiana. I'm going to say her name because just like my sister that's living over here with me right now, she's a beautiful soul, a beautiful person. My sister Kiana was raised by her mother, Georgette, who we call Jet, who I absolutely love and adore very much. Took me in when I didn't feel comfortable around my situation that I had in Pennsylvania, because I'm going to be talking about my stories of being in the penitentiary three times, and how she took me in like a son, no questions asked, and just gave me love and support just like any mother would. And here it is, she was my stepmother, who probably only seen me 5 or 6 times in my lifetime before I had went there to live with her. Thank you, Georgette. And I'm sorry that I haven't been to Jersey to see you or to speak to you. I think now I'm getting better because I was a heavy marijuana smoker and I don't smoke anymore. I don't want that to be a part of my life anymore. I'm not going to blame my smoking on me staying away from my family because, like I said, it's a selfishness that you have in you as a man when you know that you're not doing right. Smoking and drinking and carrying on and just doing things that you know that you're not supposed to be doing. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with drinking, but smoking 24/7, the second I wake up until the time I went to sleep, that's no good. There's no good in that at all. So I quit. I gave it up. I don't want it to be a part of my life anymore. But just remember what I said about being a juvenile and the effect that it has on your family and what they have to go through and endure while you're away. I'm not going to really make this long because there's a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4. And the reason I'm going to have parts to this juvenile delinquent thing is because, or the juvenile delinquent subjects, is because when I go to sleep and wake up in the morning, I remember another story or another reason why I was the way I was. And I want to explain that to you, the public, on how not to be like that and how not to just be so wrapped up in yourself that you're doing these things out in the street to cause you to lose time off your life. This dream is, I see there's one person watching. I don't know how that's happening because I definitely want to go back and check, or might even want to redo my subject, my content of what I'm talking about. But that's okay. I mean, I'm going to be going live soon enough. I'm going to take this live and talk to people and who might want to hear what I have to say. To my stepfather, I don't even know why I'm calling him my stepfather because he's been in my life. 52 years old. He's been in my life for 46 of that, 47, 48. Charles is a great man, great man. And we bumped heads. We bumped heads when I was a teenager, when I was coming up. And we probably bumped heads because he knew that I should have known better. And he probably had so much love for me as a child and out for me as a child and couldn't understand why I became the way I was, being hard-headed, being told to do something and then turning around not doing it or doing what they're telling me not to do. Shout out to Charles. I like the name that one of my lady friends called him a long time ago. She called him Chuck. And I thought that was so funny because the name fits him so well. You know, nice stocky dude, didn't take anything, wouldn't let anybody talk to him any kind of way, or my mother. he was a man amongst men. He was a man. Point blank, he is a man. Till this day, he would probably still get up in somebody's face and tell them right from wrong and, you know, show a little bit more respect to the situation that he feels that you disrespected. I'm going to end this video and I'm going to say to all the kids out there, even the young adults, just try to think about the pain, the suffering that you're putting your family members through when you're out there cutting up in the streets, doing whatever it is that you know you shouldn't be doing, that's going to cause you to lose time off your life, cause you to be away from your family members and your friends, probably missing out on the prime of your life because you want to go into a store and steal some things or break into a car and just being bothered with just doing things that you know you're not supposed to be doing, messing with other people's property. It's such a violation to be doing those things. Just think about when that person gets up from work in the morning and they go out to their car and their windows are broken or their tires are slashed just because you wanted to get a little bit of excitement and that little bit of time to impress your friends. Because I know good and well that you're not doing these things by yourself, just going out randomly doing things that, that are wrong, except if you're an addict. Addicts are different. I'm going to talk about them also. I'm going to talk about being an addict. I don't want to say them because they're people too. They're human beings too. And I'm pretty sure that the situation they're in, they wish they could get out of, because nobody wants to be wrapped up and have to depend on a substance or a drink and then not have money for it to afford what it is that they're doing and going out and violating somebody else's property just so you can get your fix or whatever it is. And I'm sorry that I had to say fix, because when you say words like that, fix and selfishness, it turns people off from what you're trying to get across to them as, as a person to person that you want to talk to them and just relate a message to them. So I'm going to check out on this one. This one, I'm going to go back and look at the content before I put it out. Like I said, I'm not into editing or anything like that. Not yet anyway. I know somebody's pretty much going to tell me that I probably should be editing because, and then umming all the time, but you get the point. And I hope you get the point. And I want you to get the point. So until next time, until Juvenile Delinquent Part 3, I don't even know what the subject's going to be next time. I don't know what Part 3 is going to be until I wake up and go about my day and sit in my car, drive my car, put on my music, put on the news station, and just think about my life, how it was, and what I did to get to where I'm at today. And I want people to feel comfortable hearing my story. And if there's any time that anybody sees me on the street, just know I'm the same way as my mother and my sister. I'm approachable. You can say anything you want to me. Well, not anything you want like that. I'm talking about ask me a question or talk about what it is that I'm talking about on my YouTube channel to try to better myself and to try to better people out there that are listening to what I'm saying. That is it. I'm going to close this out. And to Stone Muscle, my company, we're going to keep on pushing positive agendas, positive subjects, and just try to get your life back on point and be a part of your family and your friends and like you're supposed to, instead of being the deviant instead of being the deviant that I once was. And but I'm not anymore. Wouldn't even think about it. Wouldn't hurt a fly. Well, maybe I would. Those things could be kind of bothersome, but you understand. You get the point. Peace out. Cheers.